My name is Julia, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a pet stylist. So, I've been a pet stylist for about 15 years, and I started out my career in a corporate salon, and about 6 years ago, I transferred into a private salon setting, and I've been at a private salon ever since. My husband and I have three dogs, one of which is an Australian Shepherd named Sochi, who you are going to see off and on throughout this video. Now, being a pet stylist is a lot more than playing with cute puppies all day. It is a lot of work. We get to take dogs that, either get groomed regularly or don't see the groomer as often, and we get to make them beautiful. And for a lot of us, it's all about seeing the reaction on a person's face when they see their dog after it's gotten a first haircut or after it's gotten a haircut after a long time. So that's really super rewarding about the job. Another pro about the job is you will develop relationships with not only the owners but with the dogs. And that's a lot of fun, but at the same time it can be a con because when it comes time to say goodbye to that pet, it can be really, really hard. However, another pro is you get to really let your creativity go wild. You can, experiment with anything from a fun, different haircut, or some owners will let you put jewels on their dog, or give their dog a pink tail, or add feathers, and that's always a lot of fun. Now, before I get into the not so glamorous parts of the job, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it takes to become a pet stylist. So, it's going to vary whether you're at a corporate salon or a private salon, but generally the time frame is 6 months to a year. So, at a corporate salon, you may do what they call a academy, where you go to a different salon for about a month and learn the basics, and then you come back to your home salon and do a portfolio. At a private shop, it could be an apprenticeship where you start out just doing the basics, bathing, nail trimming, that kind of thing, and then you start doing what we call a rough-in haircut or setting in patterns on like the manager's dog for a little while. So obviously some of the cons of being a pet stylist is the potential for getting bit by a dog. We're working with live animals that unfortunately they can't communicate with us in a way that we understand. The only way that they can communicate with us really is growling, biting. A lot of times a dog may, just keep trying to sit down when you're working on their back end area. And that's really the only way that they know how to communicate. At some point in time, you're going to deal with bodily functions, whether it's from a dog who is super scared, or it's a puppy's first time at the groomer, or it's a senior client who just can't control their bowels anymore. At some point, it's going to happen. Another big con of being a pet stylist is cutting a dog. And I don't mean cutting their hair, I mean physically cutting them. And it's just something that is bound to happen whether you are just starting out or whether you've been doing it for as long as I have, or even longer. It's just one of those things that is going to happen. And a lot of times, just making sure that you use the tools properly in the proper way will help, but it's still not a guarantee that, when you're trimming around a dog's foot, they jerk on you suddenly and you nick a pad. It's a reality, and it happens. And most of the time, the second that it happens, your stomach will drop and you may feel a little nauseous because you feel so bad for the animal, and you just never know how an owner is going to react. But I will tell you, a lot of times, as long as you're honest and upfront with what happened and don't try to hide it, an owner will be okay. They'll be understanding. So now I'm going to go into what your potential income might be, along with what your schedule might look like, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the tools for the job. Most groomers' income is commission based, which commission is when you receive a percentage of the cost of the service. So theoretically, the more dogs you can complete, the more money you can make. But of course, you want to make sure that you're still doing a quality job and you're not rushing through to get them done just so you can make a really nice paycheck that week. And coincidentally, one of the downsides of being a commission employee is you aren't guaranteed to make a certain amount of money every year. It really depends. And sometimes you are going to experience slower times than others. And you just kind of have to work through it and make sure that you budget your money properly, to compensate for those slow times. And this brings me to talking about your schedule. Most places, you are going to be required to work the weekend. And, most private shops, they're going to be closed on Sunday, so you at least have one weekend day off, but you're going to be required to work Saturday. And if you're working corporate, a lot of times you're going to be required to work Saturday and Sunday until you reach a level of seniority to where you can get a weekend day off here and there. And that's just reality. It's kind of hard to deal with sometimes, but you make adjustments and it's doable. This also brings me to the fact that holidays are some of our busiest times of the year. That's when you're probably going to make most of your money. Um, the downside is that you're not really going to be able to take time off, during it. It's going to be rare, and it's only going to probably be after the holiday is over until you can take some time off. And it's a little bit hard when you first start out, and when your family constantly is asking you to come visit them, or even take a family trip over that time. Some of them understand, some of them don't, and you just kind of have to work around it. This now brings me to talking about the tools that you'll need for the job. So you will need anything from clippers to blades, scissors, thinning shears, brushes, combs, a nail grinder, nail trimmers. All of that stuff you have to pay for yourself. Most places will provide you shampoo, cologne, ear cleaner, but your tools you have to pay for and keep sharpened yourself. So it's important to make sure that you have the money set aside to get new stuff when something breaks, or be able to repair it if something breaks. So in this video, I've talked a lot about what it's like to work at a corporate salon and what it's like to work at a private salon. But there is another option out there. There is working for yourself, being your own boss. If you are lucky enough and have the right setup, you could potentially do this out of your own home. You can also get a van and have it equipped with some grooming equipment and make house calls for people. For senior people, senior dogs, people that just can't get out of the house as easily. They need options too for grooming for their pets. Becoming a pet stylist takes a lot more than just having a love for animals. I mean, obviously, you need to love animals to do this job, but it's a lot of hard work. You need to have an open mind. You need to have a passion. You need to have a passion for taking care of the animals that you see every day. I hope I've inspired some of you to take the path and become a pet stylist. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.